All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Kodash, the belongings to the elders and apostles of Praying Stone, Shalom to the elect which in this word in truth and in sincerity. With hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the MOTB. The serpent juice is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahweh Shai, whom dwellingly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it's written. So I'm going to go straight into this lesson, on what took place over there in Mr. Babylon the Great, in which them try to X out the ex president of America, Donald J. Trump, and from my perspective, and from my analysis, this is just another false flag to get certain legislation across the line, certain bills, and to stir up social disorder amongst the people. But I will say we're gonna watch how this play out. But this is all scriptural, because this is to more drive a division between the so-called United States of America, because it's soon to be the divided states of America. So I'm going to take a small listen.
Movie that was just released a couple months ago, go figure, that's what would unfold. It probably wouldn't be the classic Civil War in the sense that it would be trench warfare and carpetbaggers and scallywags. It would be
So here we'll get mentioned Civil War, because the thing is, you have a lot of red-blooded Americans, rednecks, which ready to go to war about Trump, because they believe that Trump has stand up for their values and their rights. I have another set where just believes that them can force them ideology down people throat, them call the Democrats, and we're into the time in which the Lord has a stir up a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt. So I wanna bring forth that precept. This is Isaiah 19, 1 start at verse 19, says the burden of Egypt, and Egypt is talking about America. When I read in Revelation, I want to say chapter 11, we mention about a place that is called spiritual Egypt and Sodom, that is talking about America. In which right here in Isaiah 19, when you make mention of Egypt, is talking about America also. So it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And to get a better understanding of that, you can read Isaiah 63, where we make mention of who is this coming from Edom, who died not offer. So just because the mere facts, I'm going to bring it up. Let's get it. This is Isaiah 63 verse 1. It said, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garment from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. So Edom And the main base of Edom operation now is America. So going back to Isaiah 19, verse 1 once more says, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst thereof. And what the scripture tell you in Revelation, let me get that also. Revelation 1 verse 6, verse 7, Salakia. It said, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindred of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. So this is something that is prophesied by multiple prophets. And we're in a time in which all these things are going to play before your eyes, yo. Because when people see the chariots then start cracking the clouds, you know, when people been there, tell them, say, them things that was fake, you know. When I come to the realization of the things they want to call UFOs, those are the chariots, you know, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So, verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And this is the counsel Yahweh Bashim Yahushai have against America, yo. Verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall see to their idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord. I wanna go in now the election here, you know, and last time I'll give them over to a cruel lord. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. And listen, man. We're about to see the workings of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai play out in the earth, yo. Because a big shift is about to take place, yo. Things gonna never they look for, I gotta start happening, yo. Because you see where you just witness, you gotta start some more terror act, more false flags. Isn't it? More domestic terrorism. So you have a lot of finger point against different individuals, you know. And I'm gonna come up with all type of policies and measures to remove so-called free speech. You know? So let's go back to this clip.
A much more dynamic, asymmetrical situation with a lot of different moving parts, balkanization, secession, and just all kinds of chaos across the board. But one thing is for certain, our adversaries have a vested interest in taking down the U.S. And the only way you can take down the U.S. is to get the U.S. to take down itself. And I would caution people against becoming overwhelmed with emotion at times like these. Because if I'm China or I'm Russia, I'm sitting back right now and I am laughing my ass off. If you were the Chinese or the Russians, a lot of people think, oh, the Chinese and the Russians, they prefer Trump. And if you're the Chinese and the Russians and you had to go for one guy that you would know would drum up chaos and would cause the ammo websites to crash as they are because so many people are starting to stock up on ammunition and body armor, you would go for Trump, okay? And the only way to crash the U.S. dollar, and understand that foreign investors, if they get an inkling that the U.S. is potentially on the brink of a civil conflict, they're going to divest, and U.S. dollars are not going to be viewed as reliable as they may have been in the past. The only thing that can bring down the U.S. dollar right now, at least in the short term, is BRICS or the U.S. themselves. Even a global crisis likely, as the tendency is, to flood to the U.S. dollar as an economic safe haven because it's the cleanest shirt in a dirty laundry basket. But when you look at what is happening, the massive amounts of debt, it's insurmountable. Okay, the Fed's saying, yeah, we're gonna lower rates and all this stuff. If the Fed lowers rates, I mean, gold is going to 3,000 easy. And they only going to do that if oil continues to go down, which it's really not. It's trading within a very narrow window between about 80 and 85.
He was bullied almost every day.
In what way? Can you explain?
I mean, he would sit
So it look like I shoot I'm a top boy, you know, watch out.
alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're going to see someone like that, and they're going to target him because they think it's funny or whatever, so it's the best way I can describe it. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
Yeah. You said he was a loner?
Yeah. I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but like he was just bullied. Like he was bullied so much.
He was in high school.
Yeah.
What did they, do you remember at all what they said to him or called him?
No. He was just made fun of, I guess, for the way he dressed or his appearance.
According to this person who says he was a classmate, the shooter would wear military style clothes or hunting clothes regularly as he was at school. So we're still learning a lot more.
Scott and I discussed the fact that he was a registered Republican. You mentioned he doesn't really have a social media presence. In so many ways, this might defy the normal expectations for the profile of the assailant.
He was a registered Republican who previously made a small donation to a Democratic-aligned group, $15 donation at that. At this time, there are no links to any foreign terrorism. The shooter is not well known to law enforcement here in this area of Pittsburgh, and so far, no motive released by the FBI.
The Wall Street Journal says the suspected shooter had explosive devices in his car. That's according to sources in Butler, Pennsylvania. Age 20, Matthew Thomas Crooks is the gunman. He was shot and killed with a sniper's bullet on top of that building about 300 yards from where the president was speaking. You're looking at the road where police had cordoned off this car late last night.
I hope there's some real soul searching that's going on, not just there, but at newsrooms across the country. You know, it was just a week or two ago, I heard people, talking heads on TV stations, calling for the assassination of President Trump. It's despicable.
The political
Yeah. You know, you can look on the Simpsons and go watch it. Yeah, man, really not a simulation. Yeah. This is just predictive programming at its finest.
Violence that we experienced yesterday did not start yesterday. There have been concerns going back 8-10 years that the increasing vitriol, the increasing anger, the divisiveness of our political rhetoric has led to a volatility in our threat environment. So where we go from here, in large part, is going to depend on what we learn about the motive behind this attack.
You were there and you're still processing everything. But when you say we're going to come out of this stronger, what do you mean by that? You mean the country? You mean uniting?
Yeah.
Either this was gross incompetence or it was an inside job. I'm going to show you the evidence. And by the end of this video, I want you to make up your own mind, and I want you to drop me a comment down below. Was this just gross incompetence or an inside job? Because to me, there's no in between. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris. You know, last night I was incredibly angry. Today I woke up even angrier as I was watching corporate media all say the same thing, almost as if they've been giving all the same talking points. We need to turn down the rhetoric from CNN to Fox News to MSNBC to CBS, Face the Nation, all of them. We need to turn down the rhetoric. Even Fox News had the balls to have on an assassin himself, Mike Pompeo, who has been confirmed wanted to assassinate Julian Assange, former head of the CIA. So you're going to ask the former head of the CIA responsible for the assassination of John F. Kennedy, which worked lockstep with the Israeli government to destroy and try to kill and destroy the USS Liberty. You're going to ask the former head of the CIA, and he's going to tell you on your air, we need to tamp down the rhetoric. Okay, no, we don't need to tamp down the rhetoric. We need to turn up the rhetoric. We need to be angry. As Americans, we need to be angry and demand answers. We had a whole January 6th hearing.
Committee will be in order.
Can we have an entire July 13th hearing now to get to the bottom of this with full transparency from these government agencies? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. So let's go through a lot of the unanswered questions today. I'm going to go through point by point by point. And again, at the end of today's video, I want you to let me know down below, not only on his person, but also at his residences.
But the failure here is absolutely catastrophic. And I got to tell you, the Secret Service should be very careful. I can tell you and absolutely confirm from the horse's mouth, from multiple
Trump need a new team, yo. He need a new team.
people, not just one. And I saw Congresswoman Waltz text this out before on X. There have been repeated requests to increase the security footprint around not just the residences of Donald Trump, but the body itself. And they have been rebuffed. Like I said, I can tell you actual quotes. The Secret Service directors completely failed and candidly should resign today.
However, the head of media relations and PR for the Secret Service today released a statement saying that is untrue. He writes, this is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capabilities as part of the increased campaign travel tempo. Okay, as part of the travel tempo. Really? Well, we know from Dan Bongino and other sources that, in fact, they did rebuff these requests. And, in fact, they didn't get the added security that they required. So that is a lie. That is an untruth. No wonder the Secret Service is coming out to make these statements. But what's also interesting about this statement, he says, we also increased resources and technology as part of his travel team, as part of his travel detail. Okay, so what then, here's a question, what additional technologies and resources did you employ?
47% of people said in a recent poll that they're fearful of civil war in this country. Do you feel like we're close to that?
I mean,
watch it, you know. This is the way I'm start off the question to people. So them already have put the narrative in a people's mind. You know, we have to listen to them people that bring across a certain narrative.
yes. Yeah.
In what way? I mean, we can't have a land war like we had in the 1860s, probably, right? But
Illegal immigrants is going to happen no matter what.
47% of Americans in a recent poll said that they think there could be civil war in this country. Do you see that?
I'm in the Army. I don't want that. I don't want civil war.
Are you active duty?
I'm National Guard, but I'm going deployment this November of this year. And I don't want civil war. People is talking about war and things like that. People who don't know nothing about it. This is something that should never happen. I hope it never happen, you know?
Yeah.
Because civil war or any type of war is a horrible thing. A lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to suffer. I don't even want to think about this, you know, this type of thing, because civil war is a big word. It's a big word. It's better not even use it, but people is using it like for nothing. But I'm telling you, it's people who don't know nothing about war, about what it is, you know, suffering, this type of things.
A recent poll said 47% of Americans think that there is going to be a civil war in this country. Do you agree with that?
Could happen, but the turning point in this country and the way things are going and how bad it's gotten, I think the people are tired. I think they're fed up. And
with what specifically? I want to ask this question because if you look at the numbers, we have historically low unemployment. Inflation is coming down. The Fed is going to most likely be lowering interest rates. People are...
And you missed the shot!
Lovely. I really wish the person had better aim. What a glorious day this could have been. And they always look like that. Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel. So today we obviously have to talk
So, that video, I know what she do, she react to people were upset. Shoot at me, you know.
about the assassination attempt yesterday.
Yeah, chat.
He was saying fight, and this photo was taken, this iconic photo, which I look at it, I still get chills, gets up this way. After being shot, somebody tried to kill him. You take a look at this versus Biden on any given day?
We're pointing at them. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. Thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. Next thing you know, 5 shots ring out. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Clearly hearing the person saying he's got a gun.
Went and told the officer that he was up there.
But I'm very conscious as I sit in this chair now of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women. That workforce will be pivotal for the 2024 campaign. This isn't just going to affect presidents and former presidents. Think about your doctors. Think about the pilots. When you're hiring people just because you want to see more of a certain race or certain gender, you're putting everyone at risk.
Alright, too much on now. So let's close it out with this. This is Jeremiah, I want to say 51 verse 45. And you read, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Yahweh. And out of the midst of her is talking about Babylon, which is America. Verse 46. Unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come one ear, and after that in another ear shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. And this is the time that we are coming up upon. You know? But the Lord have mingled that perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt. And right now the Egyptian them a stumble, yo. This is Isaiah 19 verse 14. Yahweh had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have cast Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. See, I gotta say more, let us say, severe events start transpire, in which is gonna be very unexplainable. A lot of people are gonna get uneasy because we're coming up to that time of social disorder. We have been saying civil unrest is coming for a while now. You know, it definitely the top of everybody's brain already, as people that say. So hope this was edifying. This was a quick video on what took place. So with that, I want to say Kalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Shalom.